Hi, it's Amanda and welcome to the April update for my Pan That palette. I did film this on time, a little bit late editing and uploading it. And the first palette that I'm panning this year, the main one, is this Easy on the Eye by Boots 17. And the pans are quite small. I thought it would be easy to pan, but actually it's taking a little while. So the first shade in this palette that I used in April was Smoky Marble. And I used it 7 times in April, making 16 uses in total, and we've got a little bit of a dip going on this one. The next one is Wild Khaki, and I hadn't used this one at all this year. I used it just the one time in April. I am planning to use this one a lot more in May, so watch this space for a bit more progress. Next one I used was Cool Aluminium. This is what it looked like at my last update with 14 uses. And this is what it looks like now with 17 uses in April and 31 uses in total. And I hit pan on this one with 24 uses. These are quite easy eyeshadows to hit pan on, so that encouraged me to try out Illuminated Bronze. I hadn't used this one at all this year either. This is what it looked like at the beginning of the project, and I used it one time, and this is what it looks like now. Not particularly keen on this one. I probably will try and use it up, but I'm not going to be reaching for it regularly. The next one that I used is Onyx Black, and this is what it looked like last time. And since then I have used it another 19 times, making 59 uses in total, and that pan has expanded. So still, for the size of the pan and the amount of use I've had, I'm surprised this one's not going faster. The next one that I used was Slate Grey. This is what it looked like last time. And I used it another 2 times, making 8 uses in total. But this one is quite soft and powdery, so I think it could go fairly quickly when I actually start to use it a little bit more often. And the next one is Cloudy Lilac. This is what it looked like at my March update. I had a good dip going on this one and thought I was close to pan, and I did in fact hit pan after 22 uses in total, and I used it 13 uses over the course of April. The next one is Warm Ivory, and this is what it looked like at the March update, and I thought I was probably going to hit pan on this one, but as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I haven't. Despite using it another 14 times, making 47 uses in total, this one remains stubbornly not showing any pan. Then we have Pink Flush, another one of those cream eyeshadows. This was what it looked like at my last update, and I used it just another 2 times because I was focusing more on the silver one above, so 35 uses in total, but there's still a bit of a change in the size of the pan. So this is what this palette has looked like over the course of the year, showing you all the progress that I've made so far. So the next eyeshadow palette that I'm trying to pan is my Better Together palette. This is a palette that complements your main Pan That palette, and I'm using this Everyday Eyes by Milani. And the first one in this is called Base. This one did break quite early on, and this is what it looked like at my March update. And I have used this one another 19 uses since last time, making 44 uses in total, and I hit that pan at 40 uses, but this one is actually going pretty quickly. And as these are a little bit more difficult to show in video, I am doing a little individual progress photograph for each of these shadows. The next one is called Contour. I have used this one 14 times in April, making 21 uses in total. It is starting to have quite a broad dip in it. It's quite difficult to show that on either photograph or video though. Next we have the shade Lid. This one looks so pretty in the palette, but unfortunately there's very little colour payoff on the eye. It barely shows up at all, which is a little bit disappointing. Makes me not want to reach for this one. I did use it twice in April, making 5 uses in total. We do have a little bit of a dip going in this one, but no real obvious progress to see. And the next one in this palette is called Crease. I do use this one as my eyebrow shade, which is why it's got that odd long thin pan in it. I've used it another 20 times in April, but started to use it a little bit on my eyelids as well, just at the top of the pan, but that doesn't show up very well yet. And here's all the progress that I've made so far on this one this year. Then the next one in this palette is called Specialty, and I hadn't used it at all since the beginning of the year. I did use it 7 times in April, making of course 7 uses in total. And this one's going quite quickly actually, so I might try to continue to use this one a little bit more often. And finally we have the liner shade. This is a black. It is being used consistently. I have used it every single month, pretty much every time I do my makeup, and this one had another 19 uses over the course of April, making 58 in total this year. We've got a tiny little dip going, but barely any visible progress at all. I'll keep using it though, but I'm pretty sure this one's not going to be used up at the end of this year. Makes me wonder actually how hard it is going to be to use up a black eyeshadow. So here's all the progress that I've made so far on this palette this year. A little bit annoyed at that first shadow breaking, not once but twice. I've been so careful with it. I've not dropped it or anything like that. I do now need to store it flat, which is also annoying, but I really don't like repressing eyeshadows, so I'm going to keep using it as much as I can until I really have to. Last but not least, we have my Pan That palette from last year, which I'm trying to use up a little bit more of. My focus this month has been on Love Letter. I really wanted to try and reach side pan. I was so close last time, and I did reach that side pan, pretty much all of that left hand side gone now. I used it another 17 times in April, making 51 uses this year and 154 uses in total over the course of this year and last year, and I hit that side pan on the 17th of April. So here's all the progress that I've made on this shadow this year. And then the progress that I've made on this palette this year, I really have only been really using Love Letter and Warm Taupe, and Love Letter's the only one really showing any change. But I'm okay with that because I really do want to try and focus on my main Pan That palette. I'm going to try and use every shade in that little palette over the course of the next month. So if you'd like to see how I get on, please do check back in a month's time, and I hope to see you then. Bye!